So this is the DoubleTree West Edmonton, and so far seems pretty nice. Just showing you the bathroom here. So very nice sink, sort of standard Hilton style, or DoubleTree style I should say, amenities here in terms of the soap and shampoo. As well, you got your Kleenex there, which one thing on this trip we've noticed is not all hotels actually have Kleenex. Motel 6s, for example, or extended stays tend not to. Decent supply of towels and toilet paper, usual sorts of things. It's got one of these high efficiency environmental toilets where if you press the small button, that's just for liquid matter and that's for solid waste. So that's nice that they're environmentally conscious that way. And here's the shower, which is pretty standard, but also looks quite nice, which is good. It's got a grab bar there, and a little place to put the soap, shampoo, conditioner, that sort of thing. So that's very nice. You've got sort of the mirror, and there's this little shelf space here, which is kind of interesting. So I suppose you could put your room key there if you were so inclined. That's kind of cool, or whatever else works for you. They've got some coat hooks here, which is nice. We've got a closet, which has a robe. That is... okay, that's pretty nice. It's not very soft, but it's got extra blanket, got the ironing board there, relatively standard things. Oh, oops, that moves really fast. Although the robe is a nice touch, don't always get that. There's a place here to put luggage or other things. And this is a standard 2-queen bed configuration. Upon check-in, we were offered the opportunity to upgrade to 2 king-size beds for $20 per night, but I declined the offer. Decided to save the money instead on this particular occasion. Standard safety equipment there, some art on the wall. I like the lamp here. That's a nice kind of look to it, which is nice. And DoubleTree is, I would say it's one step down from a standard Hilton, but it's one step up from like a Hilton Garden Inn. So you're going to get really nice fixtures, furniture, that sort of thing. For example, the phone here is actually cordless, so that's kind of different. And we've got the alarm clock here with the USB charging port on the rear and a docking port there if you wanted to play music. And on the lamp we also have a plug. So there's a couple plugs here that are bedside. Well, it looks like we've got an option for room service breakfast with a door hanger. This is very much like on the cruise ships, where you can select the time that you want your food, and you can kind of pick the food that you get. Of course, these are all, costed items. They all cost something. The bed is quite nice. So we've got the television over here, along with, you've got the safe, some glasses, something you can put ice into. We've got the Keurig machine here, and so down here you've got some cups and coffee options, napkins, things like that. And here we have the fridge. Kind of an awkward pivot there, but that's fine. Pretty standard hotel mini fridge, but nice to have. Not all hotels, again, might have that, depending on where you're staying. So they've got the bifurcated garbage here, so they have the plastic, paper, and glass, and then the non-recyclable waste on the brown side, which is nice. No notepad there. There's a bit more standard phone. But again, you notice it says charging, so this would actually be a cordless phone as well. That's a nice touch. I don't see that very often in hotels. Not that I use the phones very often. Some sort of information there, directory. And it's interesting, we are silver members with Hilton at the moment. We have in the past been gold, but currently we're silver. And so diamond, gold, and silver members get 2 water bottles each stay for free. And so that's what these are. However, if you're not silver or above, then these would be $2. We've stayed at other Hilton properties on this trip where the cost of the water bottle was $1 or $3. So you can get a bit of a range depending on the location you're staying at, whether it's a Hampton Inn, a Hilton Garden Inn, or a DoubleTree. And so we've got the lamp over here, which has a couple things on it here. So you've actually got like a RJ45 network connection there, which is interesting. And then of course you've got the 2 power outlets, as well as just the control for the light. This is where the AC is located, which is a little different. Normally the AC is often either right part of the window, or it's often sort of coming from above in the wall in most hotels. So this is actually something I haven't really seen that often, where it's sort of perpendicular to the window. But that's sort of where that is. And generally speaking, controls for air conditioners in a hotel room, regardless of where you are, is going to be on the wall, generally more towards the entrance of the room. Sometimes the controls in older hotels will be directly on the machine, but you'll notice here, no control panel, because it's controlled by the panel over there. So, this is pretty nice so far. Let's take a look at the view from this particular room. We're on the 5th floor, and yeah, so it looks like there's a tattoo place, a kitchen and bar. So there's some food options nearby. And I saw that there was actually quite a few other food options that were, say, within a kilometer. There was a fat burger and a bunch of other things nearby. So that's pretty good. Relatively walkable to get yourself to some food. There's also, I think, a Red Lobster and an Olive Garden, more like a little over a kilometer away, or perhaps a little bit further. And so standard sort of privacy shading here where you can still kind of see through, but you've also got, and thank God for this, you've got your blackout curtains, which are absolutely essential for me. I'm a little bit sensitive to light, and sometimes I like to sleep in more than the sun does. So this gives you a basic idea of the hotel room. Anyways, the hotel itself is really quite lovely. It's a little strange on the outside because you see the large building for the DoubleTree, and there's sort of like this darker brown, feels like an add-on that's in front of it. And so that's where you go in. And the service there was interesting. There was one woman who was working at sort of the H Honors area, and I think she was providing a higher level of service than the person who helped me at the regular place, just because there was somebody at the H Honors line, but no one at the other line. So rather than waiting, I just went to her. Her name was Poonam. She was kind of hard to understand. She was very soft-spoken, and I had to ask her to repeat herself a couple of times. So, I mean, that was, and at one point she got mad with the equipment and actually started hitting it with her hand. That was a little off-putting. And there was a period of like several minutes, which isn't very long, but when you're standing there, 2, 3, 4 minutes, starts to feel like a long time when nothing is happening, and she was just staring at her computer screen. So I have no earthly idea what that was about. She didn't say anything to me about what it was about. So the check-in took a little longer than what I'm used to in most Hilton properties, but it was still fine. The information was conveyed. I got my free cookies, the oatmeal chocolate chip cookies that are a staple of the DoubleTree brand, which is really quite nice. I mean, it's a silly little thing. It probably costs them next to nothing, but they hand you, a warm cookie to welcome you, and that's just a nice thing. Especially if you're coming in on the road or off of a flight, you get a little snack, a little something to help your blood sugar right away. It's nice welcoming. One thing that I sometimes do is if I'm not hungry, I'll obviously keep it in the room, and then maybe the next morning it might be a nice thing because it's it can almost so kind of serve as like an early morning snack before your day starts. So far this hotel is pretty nice, and we're looking forward to spending 2 nights here in West Edmonton here at the DoubleTree. We booked this directly on Hilton.com, which is generally gives you the same rate you'll get elsewhere, maybe short of Hotwire. But booking directly, I find, is pretty good and a good way to go. The lobby area is really quite large and spacious, and so that's quite nice. So yeah, so far I would probably recommend this hotel. It's quite good if you can get it at a good price. And of course, you've got basic security features here on the door. So it has a do not disturb sign, which, it's funny, more and more I seem to be encountering places where they don't have those. And so I'm glad that that's there. And of course, you've got the lock here, as well as the secondary lock there, which is quite good. I have been in 1 or 2 hotels, not Hilton's, I don't think. I think once in Vegas at the MGM, somebody was trying to get into our room, probably because they had too much to drink in Vegas, or they just had the numbers wrong or something. And so they were trying the door over and over, and we said, occupied, and they kept trying. So having those security features engaged is a nice little extra peace of mind. One thing here that I also appreciate, they've got the peephole here. So, you can see through that into, if somebody were to knock on the door, you could see who was there, which is cool. But one of the things that I like about this is they have the cover for it so that this isn't a light source when you're trying to sleep. And so if you are light sensitive, not unlike myself, you can have your blackout curtains closed all the way. Most of the light sources in the room will be out, except maybe for like the little light on the phone. And then you'll be able to cover that, which is quite good. And of course, you'll have the evacuation plan in the event of an emergency. But in all of our travels, we've never needed to evacuate a hotel before, but it's nice to know that it's there. So thanks for watching this hotel tour and hotel review. So if you found this useful, please click like. It helps other people discover these videos, and so it could help them too. And we believe that more well-informed travel is better travel. So we try to spread the information. If you could help us do that by clicking like, that would be fantastic. And thank you so much for subscribing. It's wonderful. We really appreciate it. The support for the channel has been fantastic. And so please comment below, where do you like to stay when you're in Edmonton? We used to stay at the Travelodge Edmonton West, which was quite nice, but it Travelodge has done some price gouging during like natural disasters and things, and so we're trying to stay away from Travelodge for that reason, which is a shame because that one was really nice. It was nicer than you'd expect a Travelodge, and it had a water slide in the pool. So where would you stay when you're staying in Edmonton? Comment below, let us know, and thanks so much for watching.